All right, Janusz, time to talk El Clasico because that is coming up on Sunday. Real Madrid against Barcelona. You can catch it on ESPN Deportes and ESPN Plus. Wow, Real Madrid 8 points clear. Any chance of a turnaround if Barcelona were to win it this weekend, Janusz?
No. No, I mean, look, they can make it interesting, right? I mean, with the momentum that Barcelona are having right now, and we'll see about momentum going both ways, right? Because this midweek, there's some massive matches for Real Madrid against Manchester City. Obviously, Barcelona winning away at PSG. So, I mean, wins by both, in my opinion, as a player, changes things, right? Because those would have been massive wins over big teams and a possibility of a great trophy that's Champions League, right? So because you're talking about semifinal, but I think you're talking about 8 points even with a win. I mean, even if Barcelona win, what was the first game? 4-1, right? I mean, the head-to-head is very important. I don't know if Barcelona can replicate that against Real Madrid, even though they are at home. So I think that's going to be difficult from that standpoint. I also look at the schedule and not that anything's easy, but Real Sociedad away. That's going to be a big one because if Barcelona were to win, Real Madrid goes away to Real Sociedad. And although we do know that Real Sociedad is not the Sociedad that we've seen, say, early in the season when they were winning their group in the Champions League, but it's a difficult ground, so who knows? But I think Real Sociedad and maybe Villarreal away for Real Madrid, where I look at Valencia, Girona, Sevilla, a little bit more difficult. I think it's going to be too big of an ask for Barcelona, even if they win the El Clasico.
Has Barcelona's upturn in fortunes got anything to do with Xavi saying he was going and pressure being lifted?
I think so. I think it helps. I mean, look, I was thinking the other way. We could have two teams in the final, Bayern Munich and Barcelona, with two managers that walked away, or they were fired, or they knew they were going to be fired, whatever the case. So it just goes to show. I think, especially, and you would know that, Cabe, even better than I do, but there's probably a million articles in every paper, magazine coming out about these things. The pressure seems to me even maybe bigger than the one in England, right? When it comes to that, and taking the pressure off the players, and knowing that if that had continued before Xavi had announced it, I think he would have been fired by now, probably. Players react to it sometimes in sympathy to the manager, sometimes because they understand that there's going to be an unknown person coming in, and they want to, obviously show themselves well and impress. So I think that helped. I really do. And obviously you're getting some players and some results and all of that, but it helped, no doubt.
Do you think the Clasico is starting to build up to the glory days once again with the star names, especially with some of these youngsters coming through, the likes of Pedri and Xavi and Jude Bellingham, like all these names that we're seeing now, Vinny, Rodrigo? Do you think we're going to start to see those big name, big kind of billing Clásicos? Obviously, it's always a fixture that the world stops for to watch, but some years it might not have felt as big as others.
No, we're going to have to wait. I think there's a possibility. I mean, throughout the years, we've seen some great players for both Real Madrid and Barcelona. I just think that our generation is always thinking about Messi and Ronaldo, but rightfully so, because I think, even in the past, there were some great, players, competitive teams and all that. I think the fact that at that particular time, it wasn't just about Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, but it was also about Jose Mourinho and Pep Guardiola. That show on the sideline was arguably as big, if not bigger sometimes, right? Because they set the narrative. They didn't love each other at the time. I don't care what they say now. The clubs never liked each other. The supporters never liked each other. So, I mean, I think you have a perfect situation in those years where I think we're going to have to wait a little bit for that to reoccur, especially because aside from Ancelotti, who we think is going to be there, right? We don't know who's going to be the replacement for Xavi. So let's not put pressure on some of these young players to be all of a sudden the Messis of the world and the Ronaldos of the world. But, the Galacticos are there. And if Kylian Mbappe comes in there, I mean, there's going to be a time where Barcelona is going to have to answer that. So I think there's enough talent that we can maybe dream of that. but I think that's a long ways away. I think we're going to see some great matches, but I don't know if the narrative of the two managers of the past and the likes of, Xavi, Iniesta, and Messi and Ronaldo and everybody else, that's hard in the near future.